All right, let's dive in. Today, we are heading to the beautiful, sun-drenched coast of Western Europe to talk all about one of its most incredible countries, Portugal. So, whether you're dreaming about exploring ancient cities or finding the perfect beach, this explainer is going to help you figure out exactly where to go.
And that's the big question, right? Where do you even start? Portugal has so much to offer. You've got these incredible historic cities, but then you also have these dramatic, almost otherworldly islands. It can be kind of tough to narrow it down.
So, to make it a whole lot easier, we've dug into a traveler's guide and pulled out the absolute top recommendations. We're going to walk through all the must-see spots, and we'll group them together so you can figure out what really speaks to you and, start planning that perfect trip.
Okay, first up, let's jump into the beating heart of the country. Its two biggest and most famous cities, Lisbon and Porto. And trust me, they each have a totally different vibe.
So, this is really your first big decision as a traveler. Are you pulled in by the big, vibrant coastal energy of a capital city like Lisbon? Or does the idea of a historic city, a UNESCO World Heritage Center that's famous for its amazing port wine, sound more your speed? They really are two completely different but equally amazing Portuguese adventures. Let's start with Lisbon, because that's where a lot of people fly in. You're going to want at least a few days here. Just picture it. You're wandering down the super famous and colorful Pink Street, then you make your way up to the medieval Castelo de St. George. Seriously, the panoramic views of the city from up there at sunset, unforgettable. And of course, being right on the coast means you just have to, indulge in some ridiculously fresh seafood.
And then you've got Porto. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, history just feels alive here. You can take a sunset cruise right down the Douro River, passing under this incredible double-decker bridge, the Lewis Eye Bridge. Oh, and for a little touch of magic, you have got to step inside the Livraria Lello. It's the stunning Gothic-style bookstore that honestly feels like it's straight out of a fantasy novel.
Okay, so we're shifting gears now. We're going from that buzzing city energy to Portugal's absolutely jaw-dropping natural side. And this is where the country really shows off its beauty.
And there's this perfect nickname for Portugal's islands that just captures them perfectly. They're known as the Hawaii of Europe. And when you see their lush volcanic landscapes, you'll totally get why.
This brings up another choice for you. Which version of this Hawaii do you want to see? Madeira is described as a hidden gem. It's got this year-round tropical climate that makes it amazing for hiking in these lush green mountains. The Azores, on the other hand, well, they're called an otherworldly experience. Think dramatic volcanic terrain, natural hot springs, and some of the best whale watching you can find anywhere.
But here's the thing, you don't actually have to hop on another plane to find paradise. The mainland itself has one of the most famous coastlines in the entire world. And that would be the Algarve. This is that sun-soaked southern coast you've probably seen in all the pictures. Imagine these endless golden beaches tucked away in little bays that are framed by these absolutely stunning, dramatic limestone cliffs. It is a total paradise for anyone who loves nature.
So, how do you do it right? Well, the advice is pretty clear. Rent a car. You need that freedom to just spend a few days hopping from one beach to the next. And here's the pro tip. Get there at sunrise. You can have these world-famous views all to yourself. How cool is that?
And while you're down there exploring that amazing coastline, there is one spot that is an absolute, non-negotiable must-see. It's the Banago Cave. I mean, this one spot has become so famous, it's pretty much the symbol for the whole region. It's a true geological wonder.
Yeah, people have called it a truly special and breathtaking place on Earth, and you can totally see why. It's this massive sea cave with a hole in the ceiling and natural skylight that lets the sun just pour in and light up this hidden beach inside. For an absolutely unforgettable moment, you can rent a kayak and paddle right inside as the sun comes up. Just amazing.
All right, let's move beyond the stunning landscapes for a minute and get into the real soul of Portugal, its history, its incredible food, and, of course, its people. This is the stuff that takes a trip from just good to truly great.
And this quote right here is the absolute perfect description for our next stop, Sintra. It's this whole region that just feels completely magical, and it's a really easy day trip from Lisbon. Sintra is famous for its castles, which look like they're straight out of a fairy tale. What's so incredible is seeing this amazing blend of Gothic, Moorish, and Renaissance architecture all in one spot. Each castle you visit tells a completely different chapter of Portugal's rich, layered history. And, speaking of culture, you simply cannot talk about Portugal without talking about the food. It is world famous for a very, very good reason.
When you're there, you have to dive into the local flavors. I mean, of course, you've got the famous pastel de nata, that perfect little custard tart.
But don't stop there. The fresh seafood, like we said, is a highlight everywhere you go, and so are the amazing local wines and cheeses. Seriously, eating is a huge part of the whole Portuguese experience.
But you know, beyond all the incredible sights and all the delicious food, there's one thing that seems to leave the biggest impression on travelers, and that's the people. The locals are consistently described as being just so friendly and welcoming, which is what turns a beautiful trip into a truly special one.
And that brings us to what might be the single best piece of advice for any trip here. Look, it's great to have a plan, to have your must-see spots picked out, but you should also leave some time and space to just discover. Talk to a local, wander down a street that looks interesting, and just let the country surprise you.
So after all that, the vibrant cities, the breathtaking islands, the fairy tale castles, I have to ask, what part of Portugal is calling out to you? Whether you're an urban explorer, a nature lover, or a history buff, there is definitely an adventure there waiting for you.